made towards Desert Springs Middle School. Tonight, our Brett Rosen joins us live in studio with more on what the superintendent for the district is saying. Brett?
Mark, when these social media threats were made aware, Palm Springs Unified School District contacted parents around 8 in the morning, letting them know of increased security and police presence around all the schools in Desert Hot Springs. Today, I spoke with Superintendent Dr. Marcus Funches, who talked about how personal this situation was for him, not just as an educator, but as a father himself. He made it apparent that for many students dealing with the anxiety of these threats, counselors will be made available. Superintendent Dr. Funches also expressed, as this still is an ongoing investigation, the district's main priority is to ensure the safety of students and staff.
I give you my 100% word that it is our job, our #1 priority, and our goal to keep your scholars safe in our school district, and that's what we are working at, and that's what we will continue to do. When some of our scholars or young people sit behind a phone and post social media threats, they may not be aware of the harm that they are causing to those that are reading it, especially their classmates and other young people. But I can tell you this, when we find those individuals that are responsible for said incidents or this threat, they will be held responsible and they will face consequences to the greatest extent of the law.
And yesterday, Desert Hot Springs Police Department put out a statement saying in part, quote, "We are relieved to report that based on current and ongoing investigation, we do not feel that any of these posts are credible threats to any of our Desert Hot Springs campuses." The statement also included that there will be increased security and police presence around the schools in the city. And a few minutes ago, I spoke with DHS law enforcement. They tell me they have identified the student involved and they will provide more information in the statement on this investigation. We will have those updates new at 6. Live in studio, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Brett, thank you. A local alert this evening. We have an update tonight on a deadly shooting that happened nearly 3 years ago in Indio. Police saying 2 men have now been arrested in connection with the 2022 homicide on Grace Street. Detectives responded to the shooting on December 23rd. That's where they found a victim dead at the scene from multiple gunshot wounds. Investigators collected evidence. They followed leads for months before finally identifying 21-year-old Isaac Anthony Martinez and Efren Bracamonte as suspects. Martinez was taken into custody on September 5th. Bracamonte arrested 5 days later in Thousand Palms. Both men are now facing murder charges and remain booked at the John Benoit Detention Center. Anyone with additional information is urged to contact Indio police detectives.
Palm Springs Police is investigating a homicide near Avenida Circa and Corazon Avenue that happened this morning. A body was found on the road when officers approached the scene. Investigators have a person of interest in custody tonight, and they're currently questioning them. Police say it is still an active death investigation and to avoid the area while officers are on scene. Officers say more information will be released as it becomes available.
A judge heard arguments in Palm Springs today over whether part of a lawsuit against Riverside County and its Animal Services Department can move forward. At issue is what the plaintiffs call a waste of taxpayer money. The judge pressed lead attorney Dan Bolton from the Walter Clark Legal Group to define exactly what waste means in this case. Bolton arguing that a consulting contract with Kristen Hassan, combined with former Animal Services Director Aaron Geddes' salary over 2 years, added up to nearly $3 million in what he calls wasteful spending. The judge says she'll issue a ruling in the next 2 weeks on whether this portion will proceed. The judge has already ruled in favor of the plaintiffs on another key claim that the county must provide medical care and maintain proper records at its shelters. Dan Bolton will join Fred Rogan at 6:30 to talk about the next steps for this case. That's on the Rogan Report.
All right, let's take a break from the headlines. Get a check on the forecast. Live pictures right here from our Agua Caliente casino camera high above there in Rancho Mirage. We're going to send things over to Kai Beach, who has the latest. Hey, Kai.
Yeah, hey, Mark. We're tracking some beautiful weather this weekend. We're talking about 10 degrees below average. We'll take a live look. Look at those conditions right now. 94 degrees at Palm Springs International Airport, that humidity, we're looking at around 19%. Temperatures right now across the region will walk up the hill. Yucca Valley, we're looking at 80 degrees. Down here on the valley floor, Palm Springs 94, Coachella 96. As we move a little bit westward, we're going to be 77 in Banning, and Whitewater, we're looking at 80 degrees. For the wind gusts, it was breezy over the last few days, starting to calm down as we head into the weekend. Whitewater 13 miles per hour. Palm Desert, we're looking at 10 miles an hour. For that air quality, we're deemed moderate here in the Coachella Valley. Parts of the IE and OC are good. High temps around the country, a lot of people leaving the desert or perhaps returning to it. This is what they're leaving behind. Denver, 82 degrees, Dallas, 94, Minneapolis, Minnesota, we're looking at low 80s, and in the Bay, we're looking at mid 60s. Tonight's evening walk forecast, enjoy it while you can, because we are going to see an increase in heat as we start the work week. Tonight, 6 o'clock, mid 90s, 8 o'clock, high 80s, and 10 o'clock, we're looking at the mid 80s. High temps for tomorrow, Palm Springs 99, highs on the board, Indian Wells 101, Palm Desert 102, lows we're looking at Beaumont 84 degrees. For Saturday, it's going to be warm, it's going to be dry. We're going to have a ridge of high pressure near the Four Corners. That's going to increase those temperatures as we head into the work week. 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Saturday 99 degrees, then those temperatures go back up to triple digits for Sunday and Monday, and those overnight lows stay pretty consistent in the mid-70s. I'll have a full forecast coming up in just a bit.
Kai, thank you. Well, after a few months of disruptions for drivers and businesses on El Paseo, road construction is in its final stages. But will it be completed ahead of two large events planned for peak season? Tiani Jadaling joins us live in studio. She spoke with city officials and businesses and has the latest updates for us tonight. Tiani?
Olivia, the city of Palm Desert tells me this was road work that needed to be addressed ahead of the peak season. It takes care of any road issues for about 20 years moving forward, but unfortunately affected businesses even for that short period of time. The city says the street was constructed many years ago and they never intended for the amount of traffic it now sees. Eventually, road work would have been needed as the street was leading to issues like major potholes. The public affairs manager for the city confirmed with us that the work will be completed ahead of major events like the golf cart parade and paint El Paseo pink. We spoke with some business owners who tell us they felt the impacts throughout this project.
What I was informed by the city was that we are the only business that does not have access from the back. So in other words, the main street is the only access point for our employees to park, for customers to park. And then our neighbors have strict rules concerning, parking for their business, which have possibly towing customers if they park in their stalls. So we were placed in a very difficult position. I would say that we still probably took a dip of 25 to 30%, which is significant for a new business.
Other businesses we spoke to had similar issues, but we're thankful that the work will be finished before the end of this month. Coming up at 6, hear from both city officials and businesses on how they were able to maintain steady service throughout this project. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadaling, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, Tiani, thank you for that. The Firebirds are rolling out a new image to celebrate the cultural heritage of the Coachella Valley. It's called Los Firebirds. It'll debut at the Viva Indio Street Festival, which is tomorrow. Starts at 5 o'clock in the evening in downtown Indio. It's right off Miles Avenue. It's a free event. It's open to everyone. With live entertainment, food vendors, piñata making, and more. There will also be a pop-up shop featuring the Los Firebirds merch. Everything from jerseys, shirts, and more.
We've expanded what we do on the Firebird side and expanded it out into creating the Los Firebirds brand. And it's more than just a bold new initiative. This is about cultural connection, community, family, and making sure that everybody feels a part of the hockey product.
This opportunity to bring culture and sports together in one event is a unique opportunity for the city and its residents to create memorable moments with family and friends.
Tomorrow, the Blue Zone's Palm Springs project will hold a tobacco and waste cleanup event. It's at Demuth Park. It starts at 6:30 in the morning, raising awareness about local tobacco use and waste in public parks. The group has been holding a series of these events across Palm Springs. They say each cleanup highlights the need for stronger local tobacco ordinances to protect public health, particularly in outdoor spaces.
Also tomorrow, the Modern Men Chorus will be holding its auditions at the United Methodist Church of Palm Springs. Starts at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's for their 12th season and holiday concert. You can learn more about the audition process by going to the newsroom tab of our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com.
And rock legend Billy Idol is playing at Acrisure Arena tonight, and he's joined by Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. The concert starts at 8. Tickets start around $40, so it's still time to grab those if you'd like. And another exciting act coming to Acrisure Arena, the venue announcing this morning The Who is coming October 1st. And this is the final stop of their farewell tour, so this may be the very last opportunity you have to see them play live. Tickets go on sale next week, September 17th. That's Wednesday morning.
Coming up next on this Friday evening, the latest on the Charlie Kirk shooting and how political leaders are growing more concerned moving forward.
Plus, Friday Night Lights is bringing us to Xavier Prep and Indio High School. Our Tim O'Brien and Caitlin Kelly have live reports ahead, so stay with us.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk comes after a series of incidents involving political figures. Recently, a Democratic lawmaker and her husband were killed in Minnesota, and there were 2 assassination attempts against President Trump.
The rise in political rhetoric and violence has Americans on edge and lawmakers on Capitol Hill concerned for their safety. Now leaders from both sides of the aisle calling for calm. Here's NBC's Melanie Zanona.
The brash daylight attack that claimed Charlie Kirk's life not only shocked the country, but also shook political leaders.
It is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us.
Investigators say the suspect in Kirk's shooting, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, had become more vocal about his political views in recent years, including about Kirk, an ardent supporter of President Trump and conservative influencer. Not long after Kirk was killed, the president assigned responsibility.
We have a radical left group of lunatics out there, just absolute lunatics.
But also saying to Kirk's supporters,
he was an advocate of nonviolence. That's the way I'd like to see people respond.
Angry rhetoric and violence is on the rise. Kirk's assassination is just the latest in a growing list of violence aimed at political figures, starting with 2 assassination attempts on President Trump's life. The suspect killed by Secret Service. Most recently, a gunman killing a Minnesota Democratic lawmaker and her husband. and the firebombing of Pennsylvania's Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro's home when his family was asleep. No one was injured. Now, as Americans are on edge, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling for calm, including the House Speaker Emerita, whose husband was attacked.
We just have to change the rhetorical nature of our debates.
And in a political situation, to blame an opponent or an adversary, I think there's enough responsibility for everybody to bear some of it.
Today's arrest brings some sense of security to lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
This morning, the apprehension of the suspect will ease a lot of nerves in Congress.
And perhaps a path to nonviolent discourse.
We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even especially those ideas with which you disagree.
Melanie Znona, NBC News, Washington.
U.S. Capitol Police say they've seen the number of threat assessments go up this year. They're on track to reach 14,000 by the end of December.
Also tonight, in just a few moments, Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, is expected to make her first public address since the shooting. We'll have coverage of her remarks that's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
We'll go ahead and take a live look outside from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera on a very nice Friday here in the Coachella Valley. Kai Beach is in next. He's tracking our next 7 days, maybe a little change on the way as well, so stay with us for that.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday evening. Hope you're ready for a wonderful weekend of great weather. That will change, though. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 111 cam in the beautiful city of Rancho Mirage. Take a look at those bright blue skies. You're looking at the river right there. As for today's weather, high 94 degrees, normally 104, so we're about 10 degrees below average and not near that record high of 120 degrees. High temps today, Big Bear City just a 2-hour drive away, 66 degrees. Up the hill, Joshua Tree 81, Cabazon 82. Here on the valley floor, West End, Palm Springs 94, East End, Indio just under triple digits. Tonight, it's going to be nice. We're looking at low 70s here in the valley. Up the hill, 29 Palms. Thank you for your service. Low 70s, Banning 55. And take a look at Idlewild. That is nice at 52 degrees. For the relative humidity, it's going to be nice and dry, but that will change at the end of this upcoming work week. Future wind potential. It was gusty. Whitewater, Desert Hot Springs saw gusts up to nearly 30 miles an hour. Those wind gusts, however, do start to taper off as we head into the weekend. For Thursday, this is what I'm talking about. It's going to be warm. It's going to be humid. Low pressure system. That's moving away. We got a ridge of high pressure that's going to develop over the four corners. That's going to add some perhaps thunderstorms and some monsoonal moisture as we head into the end of next work week. Holiday countdown, I just love this. Take a look at this. Autumn, just 10 days away. Halloween, less than 50 days away. And gobble, gobble, Thanksgiving, about 76 days away. High temps for tomorrow. Palm Springs under triple digits. You need some relief, you can head to the coast. We're looking at mid-70s. For the surfers out there, 2 to 3 feet. So not the biggest waves, but you can still have fun. So grab your longboard. 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Sunday, just under triple digits. Then we're back up there. Take a look at Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monsoonal moisture returns, and those overnight lows go from low 70s to low 80s.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Fourth week of action here in the Coachella Valley high school football scene. Tim O'Brien joining us live tonight from Indio with more on the coverage we could expect tonight. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, hey, Mark. Fourth week, as you mentioned, believe it or not, and it's the first week where it's really not that bad out. We're not just dripping sweat standing here. It's comfortable with a nice breeze here out in Indio. 2 more weeks before league play gears up on October 3rd for the Desert Empire League, and then the Desert Valley and Sun Valley will follow after that. But in terms of the game happening here tonight, the Indio Rajas looking for their first win of the season. Helps to be at home for sure. Less of a travel, more to focus in the classroom, more time to prepare to get ready against a really good Western Christian team from Upland who plays in a pretty good division themselves. It's the tale of two teams. You've got Western Christian, who's 3-0, and the Rajas 0-3. The Rajas outscored nearly 28 points, scored 4 with over 150 against. And then the flip side, you've got Western Christian, who've scored over 150 points and only have given up 20 on the season. So it'll be interesting if the Rajas can get a little bit of momentum here at home in front of their crowd. Quarterback Damian Durinzi, certainly not the problem. You remember the All-State track runner? Well, this is his first year behind center, and they call him the magician because he's that fast. He can swarm in and out of the line. He can get away from the defender. So if he can at least keep the ball longer than a 3-and-out, the Rajas will certainly have a chance tonight. But only time will tell. That's one of a few games going on around the valley. Our Caitlin Kelly is at Xavier Prep, where they're hosting the Cat City Lions. She stands by with more. Hey, Caitlin.
That's right. I'm here at Xavier Prep High School, where tonight they take on and host Cathedral City High School. Xavier Prep sitting at 2-1 for the season, and Cat City coming in sitting at 1-2, hoping to even out their record. I'm joined now by head coach of the Xavier Prep football team, James Dockery. You had a lot to work off of and a lot of momentum, I think, after last week. What did you see after watching the tape from that Serrano game?
The details. Anytime you play against a high-level team like Serrano, they're really going to expose where you're not quite prepared. And I think it was good. Our guys played with a great effort. It wasn't a situation where we just were overmatched completely. It was a lot of things that we could control. So we just went back to the fundamentals and the drawing board and cleaned up some things internally that we needed to. And so hopefully tonight that's on display.
Coach, last week when I spoke to you post-game, you said, I've never met anybody more competitive than me, but your quarterback, Kingston Pelham, you said he just might be more competitive than me. He's got such a fire under him, and I have to imagine he's going into this game with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder after last week, despite having 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he played a great game last week, but, he had the turnover. I think it was in the second quarter. He's been talking about it all week. He's just a fiery guy. He's been training his whole life for these moments and these opportunities, so he's totally invested in being the best he could be on and off the field, and so he's looking forward to coming out here tonight and leading us to a victory.
All right, well, good luck tonight, Coach. I think it's going to be an exciting game here at Xavier Prep. Cowboy night, you mentioned, hence the cowboy hat, and all gold jerseys for the first time. So a lot to be excited about here at Xavier Prep High School as they take on Cathedral City. That'll do it for me here in Palm Desert at Xavier Prep. I'm Caitlin Kelly. We'll see you after the break. Before we go, if you're a coffee lover, listen up. Coffee prices are on a double espresso caffeine high. Retail costs shot up more than 20% in August compared to 12 months prior. That's according to the Consumer Price Index. It's the biggest year-over-year leap for coffee since October of 1997. Economists say tariffs on coffee exporting countries like Brazil are playing a huge factor in the cost hike. The U.S. imports the most coffee in the world, and I believe it. I know a lot of coffee drinkers in this newsroom, but I don't think it's stopping anyone from buying coffee.
I really want to know how this is going to impact the price of espresso martinis, though. We should do an investigative
real
piece.
investigation.
We'll wait for that report, Ty. That's going to do it for us. Nightly News is next. We're back here at 6 o'clock with the latest local headlines. We hope to see you then.